India-US Interim Trade Agreement. The United States and India have agreed upon a framework for an interim trade agreement aimed at delivering early trade gains while negotiations continue for a comprehensive US-India bilateral trade agreement. The US-India bilateral trade agreement was launched in February 2025 by President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The framework reflects evolving geopolitical realities, particularly China's rise, supply chain diversification, energy security concerns, and technology competition, which have injected new urgency into bilateral trade negotiation. Nature and scope of the interim agreement: a transitional but strategic arrangement designed as a reciprocal and mutually beneficial trade arrangement. It is intended to generate early trade benefits, serves as a stepping stone toward a comprehensive BTA. The agreement signals renewed momentum in a relationship that has struggled for years over issues such as agriculture, digital trade, and market access. India's commitments: tariff liberalization and rationalization. India will eliminate or reduce tariff on all US industrial goods, reduce tariffs on US agriculture and food products, including dried distillers, grains, red sorghum, tree nuts, fresh and processed fruit, soybean oil, wine, and spirits. Addressing non-tariff barriers: India agreed to tackle import licensing delays, standard-related restrictions, and barriers affecting medical devices, ICT goods, food, and agricultural products. Talks to align with US or international standards to conclude within 6 months. Significant non-tariff barriers have long been contentious in WTO discussion. Their removal signals regulatory convergence. US commitment: tariff reduction for Indian exports. The US will remove tariffs on generic pharmaceutical, gems and diamond, selected aircraft and aircraft parts. India will receive ally equivalent tariff treatment in certain aviation sector and get a preferential quota for auto parts at lower tariff rates. However, the US will apply an 18% reciprocal tariff on several Indian exports, including textile, clothing, leather, footwear, plastics, chemicals, and certain machinery. Relief under national security tariffs: the US will lift certain tariffs imposed under national security provisions, especially in aviation sectors. This is significant because national security tariffs are often invoked under domestic trade laws, and their removal indicates strategic trust. Trade, technology, and supply chain cooperation. Strategic economic integration: India plans to purchase $500 billion worth of US goods over 5 years, including energy products, aircraft, precious metal, technology products, and cooking coal. Both sides agreed to expand trade in high-tech goods such as GPUs and deepen cooperation in innovation, supply chains, economic security, and addressing non-market practices of third countries. Implicit reference to China. Digital trade commitments: both countries agreed to address barriers to digital trade, committed to establishing clear and mutually beneficial digital trade rules. Digital trade has been a key friction point, especially concerning data localization, cross-border data flows, and e-commerce regulation. Strategic significance: geopolitical drivers: China-US rivalry, supply chain realignment, China plus one strategy, energy security, and Indo-Pacific strategic convergence. Economic implications: enhanced market access for both sides, strengthening India's position in global value chains, potential boost to manufacturing and exports, reinforcing India's role in trusted technology supply chains. Key challenges: agricultural sensitivities: US agricultural access may affect Indian farmers. Reciprocal tariffs: the US will apply a reciprocal tariff rate of 18% on many Indian goods, which may hurt labor-intensive sectors like textile and leather. Pharmaceutical uncertainty: subject to US tariff investigation. Digital trade disputes: data sovereignty versus open digital market, rules of origin enforcement, ensuring benefits accrue primarily to US and Indian producers. Way forward: fast track conclusion of the interim trade agreement, build trust through early harvest implementation, protect sensitive sectors via calibrated tariff reduction, align digital governance framework with global best practices, strengthen institutional mechanism for dispute resolution, integrate trade negotiation with broader strategic cooperation, Quad Indo-Pacific frameworks. Conclusion: the India-US interim trade framework represents more than a tariff adjustment exercise. It reflects a strategic recalibration of bilateral economic ties amid shifting global power dynamics. If implemented effectively, This framework could redefine India-US economic relations, reinforce supply chain resilience, and strengthen India's position in the evolving global trade architecture.